the killing of truth. When journalists become targets and the world stays silent. Palestinian journalist Salah al-Jafarawi is dead. Shot by armed militias in the Sabra neighborhood of Gaza City. The same streets where he once filmed the destruction of homes, the cries of the displaced, and the crimes the world pretended not to see. Al Jazeera confirmed what everyone in Gaza already knew. In the war on Palestine, truth itself has been marked for death. This was not an accident. It was not crossfire. It was the deliberate silencing of a witness. A journalist with a camera is more dangerous to a tyrant than a soldier with a weapon, because the journalist exposes what propaganda tries to bury. Salah al-Jafarawi's murder is another bullet fired at free speech, at truth, at the last fragile piece of humanity that still dares to tell the world what's happening inside Gaza's ruins. And where is the outrage? Where is Washington, which claims to defend freedom of the press? Where is the European Union, which lectures the world about human rights while financing the bombs that bury Palestinian journalists under rubble? The Trump administration, with its unholy alliance of greed and extremism, normalized the dehumanization of Palestinians. It moved embassies, erased borders, and gave political cover to an apartheid state that calls its massacres self-defense. It empowered a regime that kills not only civilians, but those who report on their deaths. Every American weapon fired in Gaza carries the fingerprints of those policies. Every journalist murdered is a result of that cowardice. And Europe? The European Union still hides behind its hypocrisy, mouthing empty calls for restraint, while hosting Israeli ministers responsible for genocide in its capitals. Ursula von der Leyen and her bloc stood by in silence as hospitals were bombed, as refugee camps were wiped out, as the press corps of Gaza was hunted down. Freedom of the press, it seems, is a principle that ends where Palestinian suffering begins. Let's be clear. Israel is not defending itself. It is defending a system of oppression built on dispossession and maintained through terror. Killing journalists, medics, and civilians is not an act of survival. It is an act of fear, the fear of being exposed. Salah al-Jafarawi's last breath joins the hundreds of reporters, cameramen, and fixers who have been targeted, detained, or executed for daring to tell the truth. The world must stop pretending not to know. When a journalist is killed, it is not just one life lost. It is history being erased in real time. It is the voice of a people being suffocated. And those who arm, fund, or justify these crimes, from Washington to Brussels, are accomplices. Their silence is not neutrality, it is complicity. Salah al-Jafarawi died with a camera in his hand. He did not carry a gun. He carried evidence, and that was enough to make him a target. So, to the Trump administration's enablers, to the European Union's cowards, and to the Israeli terror state that thinks it can kill truth, hear this. The blood of Palestinian journalists will not be forgotten. Every shot fired at them echoes across generations. Every silence from the West deepens the shame. In the end, the oppressor always fears the story. And the story of Palestine, of truth, courage, and resilience, will outlive every bullet. Justice for Salah al-Jafarawi. Justice for Gaza. Justice for Palestine.